Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you my priority. Protect religious liberty, protect people of faith, and protect Americans who believe in the true meaning of marriage. I hope and pray that my colleagues will find the courage to join me in opposing this misguided and this dangerous bill. And I yield back.
This is Republican lawmaker Vicky Hertzler literally crying while begging her colleagues to vote against the bill protecting same-sex and interracial marriages. And here's what I'm having trouble wrapping my head around. Imagine having so much hate in your heart that you, a grown-ass woman, will literally cry when you don't get to take away the rights of other Americans. Like, first off, imagine caring what other people do in their private lives. And beyond that, imagine being a member of the so-called small government party, no less, and caring what people do in their private lives. I didn't think this needed to be said, but if you're heterosexual or married to someone of the same race, allowing same-sex and interracial couples to marry doesn't deprive you of anything. You lose nothing. It's just that other people can enjoy the same rights. So if your religious beliefs are so fragile that the existence of other people with equal rights is a threat to you, then I can promise you that the problem here doesn't lie with them. Consider too, what's the argument against this? That it somehow devalues heterosexual or same-race marriages? We've had legal interracial marriage since 1967 and legal same-sex marriage for almost a decade now. In that time, have the marriages of all those religious extremists somehow been devalued? Are they no longer valid? Like, I'm sorry, but love and marriage is not a zero-sum game. Yours doesn't get better because fewer people can enjoy it. This is something that we all get to have, and no matter how many people experience it, it has exactly zero bearing on yours. And I can't believe I have to explain this to a party that brands itself the party of personal freedom. We are constantly hearing about religious freedom, but the fact is that we also have freedom from religion. We have freedom from having your religion imposed onto us. I don't know who needs to hear this, but other people having freedom is not an imposition on your religion. It just means that other people are free. And for the umpteenth time, other people's rights aren't a threat to your own. Now, this bill, the Respect for Marriage Act, did ultimately pass the House, and because it passed the Senate previously, it'll now head to President Biden's desk for his signature, where he's promised to sign it. This bill will ensure federal protections for all same-sex and interracial marriages, so that even if Republican activists on the Supreme Court do continue down their path and overturn Obergefell in the same way that they overturned Roe, that doesn't mean that the countless same-sex or interracial couples' marriages will be overturned. Now, that's not to say that it wouldn't pose a problem for couples who want to get married if those states ultimately do pass anti-LGBT or racist legislation, because it would, but at least we have confirmation, cold comfort as it is, that those currently married are and always will be safe. And keep in mind, if Republicans do decide to plow forward with their extremist agenda, I have zero doubt in my mind that they'll be duly punished. Remember, this election cycle was supposed to be a gimme for the GOP. They were running against a party with full control of government, with high inflation, and against a president with low approval ratings. It had all the makings of a bloodbath for the right. But because Republicans' agenda is so aggressively extreme, and because they decided to run on stripping women of their bodily autonomy in the aftermath of Roe, rather than a red wave, they not only gained just a handful of House seats, but they actually lost seats in the Senate, meaning that Americans are paying attention and will show up to defeat those people who seek to strip our rights away. So while the insurance policy is good and necessary that we have now, these Republicans shouldn't take this to mean that we won't still turn out in force to take their power away the very moment they try to enact their draconian agenda. Before you go, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can click the thumbnail right here on this screen. And if you want to support my work even further, the best way is to subscribe to my podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. There you can check out my interviews with major players in the world of politics, including President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, Jamie Raskin, and so many more. Plus other interviews that live exclusively on the podcast. That link is also right here on this screen, or just search No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen wherever you listen to podcasts.